Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work. Triple play, yeah. Triple play, making it triple play.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball, Week 8, long awaited with that 2-week NBA Cup action going on. We haven't seen you in a little while. Getting close to the holidays. Doc, on the other end, we've been keeping up via text message, but it's good to see your face. I'm Coach James Lewis. What up, my man?
Yeah, typically I'm the one that starts like 80% of the text threads between me and James. And it's been flipped this week. James has been texting me on his own, keeping the dialogue going. So it's a good thing for our friendship.
Yeah, because he came at me last pod, if you were watching towards the end. I know we have a couple of them that you make it all the way to the end. Whether you're just watching a little bit or a lot of it, we appreciate your viewership. We've been doing this for like 4 years, and we talk about fantasy basketball. We try to prep you on the week coming in. Typically, you get these pickups for the week starting on Monday. So we try to prep you for the week ahead. This week, the NBA Cup is in full-fledged. And what say you? Milwaukee versus OKC. Who you got?
It's got to be OKC, right? This is like OKC. They're like, not that they're going to be put on the map because they have been very relevant, but like,
yeah,
this is I don't think they have a nationally televised game until middle of January after this. So I think this will be something for the schedule makers for next year.
It all looks like OKC. I think that having a little star power. I mean, these are small market teams, but having a little bit of star power with Giannis and Dame, and if they could win that, and because they are looking like the underdogs, Oklahoma City's just beating up on everybody, and they're suffocating everyone with their defense. They don't have Chet, but they do have everybody else rolling. SGA is looking like an MVP candidate, and it would be nice for the Bucks to really win this and see if that's build some momentum. You finally see some chemistry between Dame and Giannis, and Dame kind of taking over late in games. And then Giannis is playing MVP caliber basketball as well. So it's an intriguing matchup. I think it's a lot more intriguing than if Atlanta would have made it, because I think
yet viewership is still down a bunch.
Yeah, but I don't know. Those numbers at the same time, like basketball is still super popular if you look on social media and things like that. But that's a topic.
The telling factor: social media, not ratings, not viewership, social media.
I mean, it does. I mean, it had something to do with the $1 billion agreement deal. But games this week, the NBA Cup, of course, is featured on Tuesday. There's no games on Wednesday, as if it's like Christmas or anything, but it's
Election day.
Thursday and Saturday, jam-pack you with 13-12. So you got to make a decision on who to start on those days, because you're going to have people on your bench that are going to be active most likely. Then make sure Monday, Friday, Sunday, your stream days. If you want to stream somebody for the NBA Cup, look no further than Cason Wallace. This will probably kick us off here. Cason has been hooping for the Thunder. He's more of your defensive-minded guard, but he can get you some rebounds, some assists, hit you a couple threes. That's what he's going to do here and there. But he's just a winning basketball player, and he's very fun to watch. And compliments Shea very well, and I think it's nothing but going up for Cason Wallace, who's really just finding his footing here in the NBA.
Cason Wallace, Mr. Durable, played 82 games last year, 25 this year. The minutes gone up from 20.6 to 26.7. The stats somewhat similar, 6.9 to 6.8 points per game. The rebounds have gone up, the assists have gone up, but the defensive stats. Look at 2 steals averaging over the last week, 0.8 blocks. Someone that's point guard, shooting guard eligible. I think he's someone that you have to look for not necessarily streaming, but somebody that's going to give you a little bit of everything. I do think his ceiling is little capped in terms of scoring, but I think someone that his role is going to be more increased going forward.
Yeah, you would think if he was wearing a different uniform and he got a little bit more usage, that you would see a little bit more of him. But the fact that he's playing over Caruso and he's a defensive guard it is very telling, like how good he really is, and why it was a no-brainer to get rid of Josh Giddey in the offseason, because you had him in the fold. We like compare positions. You compare him, you compare Anthony Black. I say go Anthony Black, who's less rostered, 7%. I mean, we're looking at 16 and 7, so you can find these guys in most leagues. But the oblique injuries taking out Franz Wagner, it's taking out Paolo Banchero. Thus, somebody's got to get some usage, some of the production. And yeah, Jalen Suggs, if you have him, he is thriving right now. But Anthony Black is somebody that's going to get you some assists and those defensive stats that we crave and that Cason Wallace was giving you in the last week. Anthony Black, 2 steals, a block and a half, and he is a defensive-minded guard who, yeah, he can't shoot the ball, but he's going to hit you with some dimes and get you some rebounds.
Yeah, Anthony Black. I mean, James, you were saying I'm going Black, so you can't go back, and you're sticking with Anthony Black. I think there's going to be a higher ceiling for scoring. We look 17 points the last game against the Bucks. He's playing more minutes over the last 5 games in Cason Wallace, 32 minutes against the Bucks last game. Yeah. And until Banchero comes back, there is going to be a need for him to play. He's 6'7", so you will see a little bit more of those defensive stats. He had 4 stocks last game. So I would take Black over Cason Wallace. And it's crazy he's only 7% rostered.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's somebody that I've picked up a couple times. I feel like every time I go get him, he puts duds together. So he's somebody you do have to be patient with, but at the same time, you don't feel bad about letting him go. Obi Toppin, when players are hot and they're shooting well, they're getting buckets, we highlight them. And right now, Obi Toppin is taking advantage of his role for the Indiana Pacers. In last week, 16 points, 5.5 boards, almost 3 threes, couple steals. That's a nice stream for the time being while he's hot.
I will be interested to see long-term what his role is with the Pacers. Don't forget they lost James Wiseman to a torn Achilles and Isaiah Jackson to a torn Achilles. So really, they don't have as much depth behind Miles Turner. They did lose Jalen Smith this offseason. So I'd be interested to see Toppin's role moving forward. He is power forward eligible. Maybe he gets center eligibility, but he's someone that has shot a good percentage previously, 57.3% last year, 53.9% for the season this year, averaging 4 rebounds, which is a career high, which is crazy to say for someone that's 6'9". But he's someone that I would monitor for long term because I do think that there is a little bit more need for him to play.
Yeah, it makes you think like Jarris Walker. Where is he? Their lottery pick from a year ago. It just seems like he can't get a consistent.
That's an L on me. Remember when I said I wanted Jarris Walker over Koulibaly? That's an L on me. I
did too. I mean, and I still see some things in him, but I don't know. It's just not clicking here at the NBA level. He's got some time for it to come and play. But you mentioned Koulibaly. Right now, Justin Champagnie for the Wizards. He's hooping as of late. I mean, you may be familiar with his brother Julian for the Spurs, who's been on the show before and is going back and forth with Johnson for the Spurs as far as who's going to play that small forward position. But right now, his brother's getting some shine, and it's cool to see twin brothers doing things in different places. Shout out to Martin Brothers, but now it's the Champagnie Bros. And what say you on this 14% rostered player for the Wizards?
Well, after looking at pictures of him and his brother, I got to say his brother is the more attractive of the twins.
Pause. He got at least one pause.
One pause per show. One pause per show.
All right. Doc prefers Justin's looks over Julian. Okay, go ahead.
No, I said Julian over Justin. Get it right.
Oh, my bad.
Get it right. I like his role moving forward. 34 plus minutes over the last 3 games. The Wizards are going to be sellers. It's noted they're sellers. Kyle Kuzma has been out, but I anticipate he gets traded at the deadline. Maybe Jordan Poole does. The Wizards are going in a youth movement, and Champagnie fits that mold. 23 years old, somebody that has been averaging 18 points per game over the last week, 8 rebounds. He's hit 2 threes in the last couple games. I don't expect the defensive stats to continue. I think it's inflated by that 5-steal game against the Grizzlies, but he's going to have a role at least this season. And shooting guard, small forward eligible. A lot of guys we're talking today have multi-position eligibility. So shout out Yahoo on that.
You say Yahoo.
Yahoo.
I just noticed that. Like either you're
How do you say it?
Yahoo.
Come on, we're nitpicking now. We're nitpicking.
This is what we do. We have to. All right, Brandon Clarke. Coming off that ACL injury that took him out the entire season. I think was this his second ACL injury in his?
I think it was.
All right, I just had thought about that, but 15 and 8. Those are some of those numbers that you've seen in the past, and they've like ramped him up slowly. He does have a certain role here in Memphis, and he gets those. He's a double threat, but he's going to sit there like 8 rebounds and give you like 12, 14 points. We like that. There's better options out there, but he won't kill you if you stream him. He's not going to dud you with like 2 points and 2 rebounds. He's at least going to be somebody that's going to have a little bit of consistency if you're looking for that and you need those numbers come the end of your week.
The minutes have been ramping up for him, especially recently. He's played 23 plus minutes over the last 3 games. But this is also in conjunction with Zach Edey being out. So there is an increased role. And Jaren Jackson Jr., remember coming back from an injury of his own hamstring before the season started. He's averaging 28.2 minutes per game. That's 4 minutes less than he averaged last year. So I think with that, there is an increased role for Brandon Clarke. I think he is somebody that you stream, but somebody that has viability as long as Edey is out. And Memphis has been playing really, really well recently.
And Santi Aldama, 59% rostered. Of course, we're not putting him in there because he's so highly rostered. He's the guy fantasy-wise that you want right now because he's going to get you points, rebounds, assists. And it's pretty amazing what Memphis has done with all these injuries and kind of these G League players, how they're like behind OKC. They've been like playing the best basketball in the Western Conference. What say you about, the Scottie Pippins of the world, Jalen Wells, a rookie? Like Memphis has been very impressive with what they've had in the collecting wins.
Well, James, remember we talked about them last year. Like we were talking about a new person every week, whether it was Gigi Jackson, whether it was
who's out.
Yeah. So
barely playing.
I think when you have a bad year like they do, kind of like a reset year or everybody gets hurt, you see who has.
And I think you're cutting out here a little bit, Doc. I'm going to step in and move on. We're going to go with Donovan Clingan. He just came back from injury. He had 6.7 rebounds. And if you held him on your injury, your IL, like I did, you're kind of sticking with him because you see that boom bust potential. And what I mean by boom bust potential is we can get Aiden out of there, or he can stay healthy and he gets regular minutes. He is a must roster guy with his blocks and his rebounds. And right now, even if he's going to play, 20 minutes, you need to roster Donovan Clingan if he's playing. Get him in. Come on, Portland. Do us a favor. Get Aiden out of there.
You know what?
There he is. He comes back.
My internet freezes for 30 seconds and I come back and it's time to talk about Donovan Clingan. This is like clockwork.
All right, verse Andre Drummond, who you got? Because you're seeing similar stats here.
This is tough because they're both coming back from an injury. Andre Drummond missed some time with that ankle injury, which I thought would be more severe. I'm going to go Clingan, though. I don't know how long Embiid is out with that.
Of course you are, my man.
I don't know how long Embiid is going to be out with the orbital fracture. And I think Donovan
Which isn't his first.
This is his third facial injury. This is his third facial injury. He leads the league
in the weird injuries department.
Actually, you know what? This is a sinus fracture. He had an orbital fracture 2 years ago.
Sinus or it's something in the face.
Yeah.
He keeps getting mauled in the face.
I mean, Clingan in his first game back, like you said, 6.7 rebounds, 2 assists. If those minutes go up, and I feel like they did rush him back from a grade 2 MCL sprain, he's going to put up great numbers. Like we've seen the upside of 0 points, 19 rebounds in 26 minutes.
And 8 blocks. 17 points, 12 rebounds, 8 blocks in the one time he got starter minutes. So his production, his per 36 is off the charts.
You are just salivating over him.
I'm just saying, it's like from a fantasy owner perspective, but just as a player, like I wanted him at Washington at 2. Like I don't see why he was slipping, and he's proven some hope there in Portland. But we do have to talk about other players, and Scotty Barnes, he's out for a minute. Somebody's got to take over that usage. Is it Ochai Agbaji? Is it Grady Dick? I don't know. Is it gonna be Mogbo? Who's your guy? 2% rostered, and you can find him anywhere. Agbaji probably gonna see some production rise here.
Yeah, I mean, I think with any of these guys, they're worth flyers in deeper leagues. It's not like Toronto's a good team, and it's not like you're going to have one person replace his stats. But Agbaji, 30-plus minutes, 3 out of the last 5 games. You see a little bit of the upside with 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 stocks. But Mogbo got the start last game at Miami. He played a career-high 30 minutes, 4 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. So you see both of these guys rostered in less than 20% of Yahoo leagues. Did you like how I said Yahoo there?
Yeah, Yahoo.
Yeah. Like and Mogbo 2%. So that could be a 14, 16 team ad. But, once again, I don't expect Scotty Barnes production, but expect increased minutes, which could lead to production.
I know this a little early, and this is a little bit against the fantasy stuff, but if you had the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and you're, I guess, the Toronto Raptors or anybody else that are in play, who do you get?
Yeah, Cooper Flag.
Without a doubt?
I think so.
All right, because Dylan Harper is damn good.
James, you are the NBA draft guy, so I'm not going to argue with you on that. I'm also thinking of who is going to help sell you tickets.
I mean, I've always been Cooper. I love Cooper Flag, but I've liked Dylan. He's 6'6". He's a lefty point guard. Does everything on the court. I really like him. Obviously, he comes from good pedigree, being Ron Harper's son. But everyone's looking at Ace Bailey, but it looks like Dylan Harper is the one that you want from that Rutgers team. Not going anything against Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey's a dog too. Cooper Flag with Scotty Barnes, I could see a good fit. You already got Quickly, but I wouldn't say it's confirmed that Cooper Flag is absolutely the number 1 pick. And I'm not saying Dylan Harper is, but it's a nice year if you're up there at the top of the lottery and you picking, because you're gonna get a star, and then even if you land in 3, like you're gonna get a player that's probably gonna start for you. So it's a really good draft. After this last year was not the greatest, but you found some value down the line. Dennis Schroeder goes to the Bay Area with the Warriors, where they're in a win now mode. I love that dynamic. I love them getting that asset. I don't like it for my fantasy team being a Dennis Schroeder owner. His 18, 3 and 6 and 3 threes is going to be missed. It's swipe and a half. I don't know if that production is going to stand. Obviously, you hold him right now, but Schroeder might be a drop down the line if he's not going to, they play a lot of players. We'll see what happens with that. But to shake things up, Shake Milton is probably going to get a little bit more time, a little bit more usage. Somebody's got to fill the shoes. Dennis Schroeder was their guy this year for Brooklyn that was playing like 500 basketball. Got to mention Dorian Finney-Smith. He's safe. We've called him the condom in the past because, you could definitely go with worse options. He's coming back off of injury. He had, 3 threes in his first game. In his second game, he had 19, 5 threes, 2 blocks and 2 steals, 2 and 2 against Memphis. He played 30 minutes, in both of those. So Dorian Finney-Smith, small forward, power forward, center eligible. He's a good, stream guy that you never feel bad about picking up or dropping at the time. 8% rostered. He'll be there. But Shake Milton, maybe if you're ahead of the curve, he might be the one that benefits the most here from Dennis Schroeder moving out of town.
It's funny. Shake Milton, point guard, shooting guard. Dorian Finney-Smith, front court eligible. Those two players plug in 5 positions.
Wow.
That's some math there.
You use your doc brain on that one.
Absolutely. I'd go with Dorian Finney-Smith if you have to pick one.
Absolutely.
3 position eligible. You see what he did first game back. 31 and then 30 minutes, 19 points, 5 threes, giving you a little bit of everything. This is what he's done for his career. I do like Shake Milton get an increase in minutes. I think he's going to be better scoring for you, but from categories, I would go DFS. Points, I think, is a little bit more of a discussion, and I don't hate going Shake in that matter. I would like to see him get some more minutes, which I do anticipate.
What say you on the Jimmy Butler situation? Agent coming out with teams that he would accept going to. One of those being the Warriors. Are the Warriors done here? Do they make a move for Jimmy? Do they give up some of them young assets? Where do you think his landing spot is, or do you think that the Heat retain him? He's going to be 35 and restricted free agent. He's due for a big contract, and he mentioned some real contenders as far as where he would like to go, or his agent did at least.
I thought you were going to lead with what do you think of the Jimmy Butler agent and Shams drama?
Dude, crazy.
Yeah, he's doubling down. Shams is doubling down and saying, "I know what I was reporting." Jimmy Butler's agent said, "You're using AI and ChatGPT." This
Which
is
he's
spicy.
not. He's
not.
spitting facts. He's Shams. Come on.
Yeah.
But anyways,
the smart thing for Miami to do would be to trade him. But Pat Riley is one of the most stubborn GMs in the league. So I don't think he would trade him unless he feels like he's going to get equal value back. The kicker is he has a player option for $52 million next year.
Yes.
So a team has to think of whether they want to anticipate taking that up. Like $52 million is really tough to pass up. The team that would make the most sense, I think, would be the Warriors. I don't think they have the assets now. I think
they don't.
No.
Some draft capital, Kuminga, Moody, Pods.
If they were willing to give that up yet.
All 3 of them would be a big ask.
Pods was untouchable for Lauri Markkanen, so I don't know.
They do have to match that the 38 million contract, and they just sent DeAndre.
They would have to get rid of Wiggins.
It would be Wiggins.
Have to be in that.
But why would you want Wiggins if you're Miami?
Yeah. I would like to see Phoenix make a move. I think they could get rid of Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn.
The trade piece there would be Bradley Beal, but does Miami want Bradley Beal in that contract that comes with it?
I don't think they do.
Because the other pieces there that you just mentioned wouldn't add up to equal that. So the Suns, we mentioned the Warriors, but the Warriors make the most sense. But now this Dennis Schroeder trade with
because they gave up future seconds.
And they gave in the contract of Milton was a big piece in what was probably going to work there. Maybe that was their move. But yeah, well, it is something to see. Maybe the Lakers can get in on this. Maybe we can do it.
Trade deadline special. Me and James are gonna do a trade deadline special.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a non-fantasy related pod.
The fantasy stuff is over at this point, but let's talk our stuff, man. Doc came in here very aggressively this morning. Before my coffee was over, he said,
"Yes,
say it again."
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We have it on tape and on record.
Everybody that has listened to this point forward, or just fast forwarded to this point, or went to this random spot, thank you. LeBron is going to retire after this year. He is mentally checked out. And when I brought it up to James this morning, he got so salty. And part of the reason is I think this started to permeate in James's mind. This is a thought that had never crossed. And he said, why? And I said, he's never taken time off for personal reasons. He's mentally checked out. The Lakers don't have an opportunity to win this year. He's now won a championship with 3 teams. He's played with his son. He's the all-time leading scorer. What else does he need to accomplish? He will have played at 40 years old when his birthday hits later this month. He's done. He doesn't want his legacy. He started to become gassed in games. He doesn't want to hurt his legacy by continuing to lose. So he's going to leave after this year. He's going to retire.
I say he'll give at least one more. I don't think that Doc is breaking news or anything.
So sad.
And I think he's taking a mini vacation. He knew he had like a little extra days. He's also playing his hand to the Lakers. Like, make a move. It needs to happen. I've seen this before with Cleveland, where he had an injury that lasted a little extra long before he came back. Next thing you know, they trade for J.R. Smith. Next thing you know, they win an NBA championship. They got 2 first-round picks that they can put out there, and they can get something in return. And Anthony Davis is playing, a top-tier all-NBA basketball. You got that. You got a couple pieces in Austin Reeves, and I say a couple pieces. You have Austin Reeves, and if you get some pieces coming in, you can work with that, though. We saw that in 19, but something needs to happen in Lakerland, and clearly it is not D'Angelo Russell, who has fallen out of favor with JJ Redick, and there's question marks. But when you have 2 all-NBA performers, you just need the right fits, right? Some people that shoot, some people that play defense. Like, that's all it is. Bring Kuzma back. We get Kuzma back for nothing, and make one other move, and the Jimmy Butler, and like let's talk about it.
James's eye is twitching, and he's stressed out because I've gotten under his skin.
Yeah, you have gotten under my skin because you came in here with that slanter or so early in the morning. Yeah,
that's what I do best.
No, what you do best is you win the Mike Bibby lookalike contest, and
not anymore with this hair.
With the shape up and then lift some weights. We were right
absolutely.
There.
But
all right, I'm gonna need you to look up some future prospects. Dylan Harper, please watch some tape. Tell me what you think about his game. And till next time, we're wishing you best luck because we are in the thick of things of this playoff. Thanks for sitting with us. If you were here this far, 7 minutes behind us talking about fantasy basketball, we appreciate you. Doc, any last words for the fans?
Week 8, this is a grind. Don't give up. Fantasy football is almost done. Focus your attention on basketball.
All right. Till next time, we're out of here. Peace.